Nothing to Lose, our new book on HarperCollins, really started as a labor of love by a guy named Ken. And Ken went around interviewing all kinds of people for all sorts of reasons, magazine articles and so on. And then when he read all the interviews, the one thing they all had in common was they talked about Kiss. And that's where the idea of the book came from. How about when you're in the eye of the storm, you get one perspective, but people outside of it get a different one. So these are anecdotal stories, experiences of people, rock stars, journalists, others, about Kiss, about a special time, 70s. I wrote a song called Too Young that begat an instrumental called Acrobat. Boom, ba-doom, boom, boom, boom. Our then producer, Kerner Wise, a guy named Richie Wise, cut it down because it went into it was a long 7-minute song. It goes boom, 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 and then it went to and that's exactly what Paul, he heard that thing, took it, and went out and wrote Detroit Rock City. But it's not the only time. You know, I had an idea for a song called Psycho Circus. Paul heard the idea, boom, ripped it off, wrote the song. I had an idea for a song called Black Diamond, sort of a Kiss version of Brown Sugar. Black prostitute, brown sugar, get it? Black Diamond, out on the streets. Paul beat me to it, wrote the song before I did. There's so many stories. You could spend 10 hours talking about, I'm going to say this respectfully, the madness that is Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. I don't mean that necessarily the drugs and the alcohol, because there's so many stories about delusional, alien-like behavior, you could not imagine it. Just unbelievable. Not even malicious, just bizarre. Like aliens. KISSology 4 is on its way. It could have come out now, but there's so much going on between LAKissFootball.com, restaurant chains and tours and Kiss cruises. There's just an awful lot of stuff, so we're holding on to that. But KISSology 4 is going to span the entire career. It's 10 hours long. He's got a religious passion, as well he should. We're in America. He's proud to be a Christian. What's wrong with that? And yet, with sports media and pop culture media, they make fun of his religion. Really? In America? If he was wearing a burqa, they wouldn't dare say anything. But if you're a Christian, you get to be picked on? What the hell? The guy's got family values. I never saw media picking on Michael Vick for torturing dogs, or this other football player who's alleged to have committed murder. That's cool. But a guy who's religious and has family values is not cool? He's cool to me. I think religion is terrific. Religion is good for mankind. Without the 10 Commandments, Jews gave you that. Without that, there'd be chaos. Somebody had to say, hey, here's some good ideas. Don't steal and don't kill. Those are good ideas. That's called civilization. There was once upon a time where those things weren't written down. You had chaos. I mean, we still have chaos, but at least you have a reference point. Rules of war, don't kill, don't steal. There's some guidelines. Those are good ideas. Honor thy father and thy mother. That's a good idea. The preacher was incorrect. He was baptizing and didn't know it all comes from the mikvah, the original Jewish thing of being submerged. And he unfortunately didn't know the name of his Savior, his Lord. He thought his name was Jesus Christ, and I said, that's incorrect. There was never a human being called Jesus Christ. His mom and dad were not called Mr. and Mrs. Christ. He was born, as recorded by Josephus, the Hebrew scribe, later became Rabbi Yesu ben Yosef, Jesus the son of Joseph. That's his name. Christ was a title. So the preacher who was baptizing the child didn't even know the cornerstone, the name of the God he worshipped. No. How many chances in life do you get? You know, when you stick your hand in fire, you get burned the first time. Fire and nature doesn't care if you're a good guy or a bad guy. Both of those guys had 3 chances to be in the band. 3 times they f***ed it up. They were every bit as important as we were at the formation of the band, and they would have been the ruin of the band if they continued to be in the band. When you have a cancer in your system, it's best to cut it out as fast as you can. It used to be a part of your body. It turned into cancer. You got to cut it out. I believe that both Ace and Peter are happier now. They're healthier. They both look fine. When they were in the band, they were on junk or crack or alcohol, whatever. Clearly not a healthy place for them. They belong home and doing autograph shows in clubs. They're happier.